if you're feeling a bit of whiplash from the job market lately, you are definitely not alone. I mean, it feels like just yesterday we were all talking about ghost jobs and quiet firing, but the whole landscape has shifted, like dramatically and super quickly, into something completely new. So today, we're going to unravel what's really going on.
Okay, let's just put it out there. The old playbook, the predictable path to a successful career that we were all taught to follow, it just doesn't seem to be working anymore. That gut feeling you have that something fundamental has shifted, it's real. The game has changed, and so have the rules.
And that brings us to the central mystery we're going to try and solve here. For generations, a college degree was the golden ticket, right? But is it anymore? The answer might actually surprise you, and it all starts with one single, startling piece of data.
Okay, so check this out. For the very first time, the unemployment rate for young men with a college degree is exactly the same as for those without one. Just let that sink in for a second. This one fact really challenges a core belief we've held for decades about higher education. Now, to be clear, a degree still leads to higher earnings over a lifetime, but this tells us that the immediate payoff, that guarantee of a stable job right out of the gate, well, it's just gone.
So let's dig in. Our first clue to understanding this whole new reality is actually a pattern from history that we just keep repeating. It's like an echo from the past that's getting louder and louder.
Think about it. Every decade or so, a certain industry just becomes hot. In the 80s, it was oil and gas. In the 90s, everybody was rushing into the dot-com world. And what about the 2010s? The big mantra was learn to code. Every single time, it's like a massive gold rush, with talent just flooding into that one sector.
And you can probably guess what happens next, right? It leads to a totally predictable outcome. By the time everyone gets the memo, gets the training, and graduates with the right skills, the boom is already starting to cool down. You end up with this huge oversupply of qualified, talented people all fighting for a shrinking piece of the pie. The learn to code boom is the perfect example of this cycle playing out right before our eyes. Now let's move on to our second clue, because it's not just about the market itself, it's about how people are starting to behave inside that market. A whole new logic is taking over.
It wasn't that long ago that job hopping was the big strategy, right? You jump from company to company every couple of years to get a big salary bump. But today, we're seeing the complete opposite. People are job hugging, basically clinging to their current role for dear life because of all the fear and economic uncertainty.
So here's why job hugging is such a huge deal for the market. When everybody stays put, when they avoid taking risks or even going for promotions that might make them a target for layoffs, the whole job market just freezes. It grinds to a halt. It creates this stagnant environment where very few opportunities open up for anyone on the outside looking in. And this leads to something wild, a total reversal of career logic. Staying at one company, which used to be seen as a liability, a sign that you weren't ambitious enough, well, suddenly it's a valuable asset. It signals stability in a chaotic world. The entire calculation has been flipped on its head.
All right, on to our third and final clue. This one reveals something pretty fascinating about how the competitive landscape itself has been totally reshaped. And it gets into some complex but really important gender dynamics.
So for the past few decades, there's been this really successful push to achieve gender balance in fields that were historically dominated by men, like tech, science, and business. And that's a fantastic thing. But it comes with an unintended consequence. A much larger, more diverse, and frankly, way more competitive talent pool all going after those same jobs.
So here's the imbalance we're seeing. While women have successfully poured into fields like STEM, the reverse, getting men to enter historically female fields like nursing and teaching, has been way less successful. And the irony is, there's often what's called a glass elevator effect, where men in these fields can actually get promoted faster than their female colleagues. So what's the holdup? It really seems to be good old-fashioned cultural inertia and some lingering social stigmas. So we've got all the pieces on the table now, the boom and bust cycles, the job hugging, the new competitive landscape. What does this new reality actually mean for finding a successful career path? Let's try and put it all together.
The current climate is drawing a really sharp line between two kinds of jobs. On one side, you have the glamour careers. The exciting jobs in tech or finance that are super volatile and tied to things people want but don't necessarily need. And on the other side, you have genuine professions. Think healthcare, education. They serve essential needs, and because of that, they're proving to be way more stable and recession-proof.
So, let's recap the big takeaways. First, a degree's immediate job guarantee is fading.
Second, we know that chasing hot industries is basically a bet on a predictable boom and bust cycle. Because of all this, the big priority is shifting away from just chasing rapid salary growth and toward finding long-term job stability. And it turns out that stability is most often found in those essential professions that serve a real purpose no matter what the economy is doing. There's a quote from the source material that just perfectly captures the central message for this new era. It's a powerful reminder of what we should really be looking for.
Ultimately, this whole great unraveling forces every single one of us to ask ourselves a new question. In this changed world, with all these new rules, what does a truly valuable career actually mean to you?